Have you ever stopped to think about all the invisible things that just work? You know, the stuff that makes our daily lives possible. From the water in your tap to the bus you might take to work, there's this huge, complex network of public services humming along in the background. But here's the thing, it is not a one-way street. So today, let's dive into the social partnership that actually keeps our society running.
Okay, this might sound a little like the start of a riddle, but the answer really gets to the heart of how our society functions. So seriously, think about it for a second. What do a tap, a bus, and a textbook all share? Well, it all boils down to a set of promises. Promises we rely on every single day.
Right, so when you turn on a tap, you just expect clean water to come out every single time. You don't even think about it. That's the promise of reliability, having a fundamental resource just there, consistently available whenever you need it.
And think about this. When you step onto a bus, you're not just hoping you get to your destination, are you? No, you're expecting to get there safely. That's the promise of security, that feeling of assurance that lets you move through your community with confidence.
And when a student opens a textbook, come on, it's so much more than just paper and ink. It's literally a gateway to knowledge, a tool for growth. That right there is the promise of opportunity. It's the foundation for building a better future, not just for one person, but for the whole nation.
So what do these three big promises, reliability, security, and opportunity, all have in common? Well, they're all different kinds of public services. The source material for this explainer defines them as services supplied to uplift people's living conditions. Basically, they are the absolute bedrock of our social welfare.
You see, this whole relationship is built on a promise. So let's start with the first half of the deal. Let's break down exactly what the institutions providing these services owe to us, the public.
Let's take something like electricity. The provider's duties are super specific. It's not just about, keeping the lights on. They also have to do proper maintenance, guarantee safety, and, this is a big one, get the power back on immediately after a breakdown. It's a really serious, multifaceted commitment.
Now, when we look at healthcare, that promise becomes even more profound, right? The duty of care is holistic. It's not just about treating people when they're sick. It's also about proactively trying to prevent diseases and raising public awareness. It's a full-on commitment to the well-being of the whole community.
And this promise extends to the human side of things too. Take public transport. The duties include efficiency and safety, of course, but also the conduct of the staff. Part of the deal is having disciplined and courteous workers, and that directly shapes our daily experience.
So, you can see, whether we're talking about water, or health, or transport, these duties aren't just some random checklist of tasks. They actually form a comprehensive promise, a foundational framework designed to support and uplift every single member of society.
A promise from them to us. It sounds like a pretty great deal, doesn't it? But is that the whole picture? Is this just a one-way street where we sit back and receive and they do all the providing?
Oh, not at all, not even close. For this entire framework to actually work, it has to be a partnership. And you know what that means? It means we, the citizens, have our own set of duties to uphold.
Think about the water supply again. Yeah, the provider has a duty to control wastage on a huge scale, fixing leaky pipes and stuff. But we have a matching duty on our end to use that same water economically in our own homes. See? One side of this equation just can't succeed without the other. And the exact same principle applies to public security. The police are there working to keep us safe, but they absolutely can't do it alone. They rely on citizens like you and me to support those efforts and to just be law-abiding members of the community. It really is a true partnership.
And when we zoom out, a really clear set of our responsibilities comes into focus. We're talking about things like paying our bills on time, protecting public property, reporting problems when we see them, and something as simple as being courteous to the staff. These actions are our side of the social bargain.
So what happens when both sides, the providers and the public, actually uphold their end of the bargain? Well, that's where the magic happens. That's when we start to see real, tangible progress. What we create is something called a virtuous cycle. It all starts with quality service from the providers. That encourages us, the citizens, to use those services responsibly. Then, that responsible use leads to less strain on the system, which frees up resources for better maintenance and improvements. And that, in turn, leads to even higher quality service. You see how each part just reinforces the other? It creates this amazing upward spiral of progress.
Our source material puts it perfectly. It says, fulfillment of duties by citizens helps the maintenance and qualitative development of public services. In other words, when we do our part, we're not just being good citizens. We are literally actively helping to improve the very services we all depend on. We become co-creators of a better society.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Public service is not a simple transaction. It's not some product you just buy off a shelf. It is a social partnership, a shared project that we are all actively building, or, breaking, every single day with our actions.
And that brings us to a final, pretty personal question. We've laid it all out. This is a two-way street. So as you go about your day today, just think about your role. What part are you going to play